that the general public should be on alert as there are indications of possibility of isolated attempts by Boko Haram and Islamic State West African province terrorists to carry out attacks against civilians during the festive period. The warning comes as Muslim faithfuls are set to observe the 2026 Eid Kabir celebration. While speaking with the newsmen today, Lieutenant Colonel Sani Uba, Media Information Officer Adekeye, noted that the strikes would employ the use of suicide bombers and IEDs, particularly in areas of high population. And still in Nigeria, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has announced that Nigeria has intensified nationwide surveillance and emergency preparedness measures against Ebola virus disease following the growing outbreak in Uganda and Democratic Republic of Congo. In a fresh public health advisory by the Director General of the NCDC, Jide Idris, the agency said Nigeria has not recorded any confirmed case linked to the ongoing regional outbreak, but warned that the risk of importation remains high. The NCDC said the National Emergency Operations Center has been placed on alert, while the National Incident Management System has been activated with clear reporting and escalation pathways. The Public Health Agency disclosed that it is strengthening coordination with state ministries of health, port health services, and other related government agencies as part of efforts to improve national readiness. Outside Nigeria now, United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said negotiations may be close to reaching an agreement to the end in the war in the Middle East. Rubio noted that there is a solid thing on the table, raising hopes of a possible breakthrough in the discussions between the U.S. and Iran.
We thought we might have some news last night. Maybe today. I wouldn't read too much into it. It takes a little while to hear back. So we have what I think is a pretty solid thing on the table. Their ability to open up the straits, get the straits open, enter into a very real, significant, time-limited negotiation on the nuclear matters. And hopefully we can pull it off. It has a lot of support in the Gulf. It has a lot of support globally. Every country that we've walked through it understands it's not just very reasonable, but it's the right thing for the world to get done. As the president said, he's not in a hurry. He's not going to make a bad deal. I mean, the president's not going to make a bad agreement. So let's see what happens. We're going to give diplomacy every chance to succeed before we explore the alternatives.
Recall, Trump wrote on Truth Social that the U.S. blockade would remain in full force and effective until an agreement is reached, certified and signed. Trump had also earlier stated that the proposed deal would include the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, a vital shipping route that has remained effectively closed since the conflict began on the 28th of February. And now President Donald Trump said that he would... Apologies, President Donald Trump said he has told United States negotiators not to rush into a deal with Iran amid anticipation and mounting criticism of an agreement to end the war in the Middle East. The United States has imposed a blockade of Iran ports since April 13 after Iran virtually halted traffic through the economic vital Strait of Hormuz. While the White House has not released aspects of the deal, Iran Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Baqai said the two sides were nearing a memorandum of understanding, a kind of framework agreement composed of 14 clauses in a trend towards rapprochement. Several voices, notably among Republican lawmakers close to Trump, expressed fear of an agreement favorable to Iran as supposed aspect of the deal that began to leak. You're listening to Globe File on Adami Mogo 93.1 FM Lagos. Still to come. Russia kills 4 in massive Ukrainian attack.
You can Listen to Adami Mogo 93.1 FM from any part of the world. Download the Adami Mogo 931 FM app from Google Play Store and Radio Garden. And follow us on Adami Mogo 93.1 FM on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you have eyewitness stories or exclusive to share, contact the Adami Mogo FM newsroom by mail at newsroom@adamimogofm.com. Or you can dial 070-634-03583. You can dial 090-319-69629. Adami Mogo 93.1 FM Lagos, Voice of the Light.
Thank you for staying with us, and now to the rest of the story. Russia has pounded Kyiv with a massive bombardment that killed 4 people, with Moscow unleashing its nuclear-capable hypersonic missile in one of the largest barrages in more than 4 years. Multiple rounds of loud explosions were heard in the Ukrainian capital throughout the early hours of this morning as residents took shelter in underground stations. Rescue workers were seen extinguishing fires and sifting through debris of heavy damaged buildings, houses, shopping centers, museums, theaters, schools, and universities. Russian President Vladimir Putin earlier threatened retaliation for Ukrainian strike in Russian-occupied eastern Ukraine that killed 21 people in a vocational school. Now, China has launched its Shenzhou 23 mission, which will see a Chinese astronaut spend a full year in orbit for the first time, a crucial step in Beijing's ambition to send humans to the moon by 2030. The Chinese Space Agency said the spacecraft separated from the rocket around 10 minutes later and entered orbit. The mission marks the first spaceflight ever undertaken by an astronaut from the Hong Kong 43-year-old Li Jiaying, who previously worked for the Hong Kong police. The crew is set to carry out numerous scientific projects in life sciences, material science, fluid physics, and medicine. Now to sports, where Argentina star Lionel Messi has suffered an injury scare before the World Cup, requesting to be substituted during Inter Miami's Major League Soccer game yesterday. Miami coach Guillermo Hoyos later suggested that the 38-year-old was replaced against Philadelphia Union, particularly because of the pitch condition in wet Miami.
Bien, que yo sepa todavía no tenemos informe sobre eso, sí, pero bueno, próximamente lo tendremos, pero realmente estaba fatigado en ese sentido, es de fatiga. Sí, era fatiga, estaba cansado, el campo estaba pesado, sí, y ante la...
The 2022 World Cup winner came off in the 73rd minute of the game after clutching the back of his left leg, but appeared to be walking normally as he headed straight down the tunnel. Messi has not formally confirmed his plans to play for the defending champions in the World Cup, which begins on the 11th of June. To end, Lufali has a recap of the major stories. I told you the federal government commended the Republic of Poland for supporting Nigerian students displaced by the Russian-Ukraine war, describing the gesture as a strong example of bilateral solidarity. In the news, we told you Iran says some progress has been reached in talks with the US, but a deal is still not imminent. And finally, we told you that Russia has pounded Kyiv with a massive bombardment that killed 4 people, with Moscow unleashing its nuclear-capable hypersonic missile in one of the largest barrages in more than 4 years-long war. And that's Global File, as edited by Adeshola Isaiah Samuel. Join us at 2 o'clock for the briefing on Adami Mogo 93.1 FM Lagos. I'm Ayo Adekeye. Good afternoon.